What's up, y'all? Today I got every book I read in October. Part of me catching up, so hopefully by the end of November, we're back in action. I won't have to backlog any of these anymore. I'm not gonna lie, this was a huge reading month for me. I got a big ass stack of books behind me, so I'm just gonna get right into it so I can hopefully keep this video under an hour. I think that's the record for the reading log so far. There's one that's like an hour 10, so we're trying not to break that. We'll see how it goes. This first book, or series of books I have here, is Reckless by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. If you guys have watched a lot of these reading logs, you know that I've been like making my way through all their work. Ed Brubaker, for me, I think has made his way to, he's a Mount Rushmore comic book writer. I don't know. I feel like I couldn't technically describe to you why he's such a good writer for me. I mean, I know that comic book writing, there's a lot of stuff that I like don't know about, like in the scripts where he's like describing scenes and all that stuff. But literally the words in the book, like, I don't know, the way it's written flows so well, like in my brain. I feel like as I read it, it's so hard to like stop reading and like jump out of it. Like you just want to read it the full way through, and he's one of the few writers that feels that way for me. So, I'm in the bag. Fred Brubaker, Sean Phillips, one of the best directors in comic books. I think I've said that before. We'll look at the first one, right? Keep it the least spoilery. Reckless is a story that's in the model of like pulp crime books where we follow Ethan Reckless. Each book has like its own self-contained story. So in theory, you could read them out of order. I read them in order of release because I just felt like the way to do it. It's like I've heard that there's supposed to be like a movie being made out of this, and this feels very like action movie to me. Like, I don't know. This feels like a character from a series of books that my dad would have read, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, we have to see this movie." You know what I mean? It's good vibes. Ethan Reckless is a guy. He lives in a movie theater, which is sick. And he's not really like a PI. He's more like he's just a problem solver, which is what he says a lot. Where people call him and they like plead their case, and then if he feels like they like need help or like they like quote unquote like deserve it, he goes out of his way and he goes to fix their problem, right? And so it's just a great setup for multiple crime books in this series. I think for me personally, out of these three books, that's tough. The third one, Destroy All Monsters, was probably the one I enjoyed the most. And for me, it goes 3, 1, 2. 2 is my least favorite. Not that it was bad, just my least favorite. It's just action-packed. The pacing is great. I'm going to try and flip so we don't see any naked people. You know how these guys can be. Okay. Yeah, it's a great time. Ethan Reckless, the character, is interesting. Ed Brubaker does a great job of like giving us a look into his head. And the drawings of Southern California are just beautiful. I think that these books, my favorite colored book of theirs was for sure Where the Body Was, but these books are probably second. There's some beautiful scenes just of like small towns in California, like the scenery and stuff. It's sick. It's great. I really like these books. I bought all 5 of them. I have read all 5 of them, but these were just the ones I read in October. It's a great time. I don't know how you can give Reckless less than a 4 out of 5. Like, it's just impossible. I feel like 4 out of 5 because there's some parts where it is a little like, I don't want to say corny, but like it's kind of like the point, right? He's one of these pulp heroes, man. He's one of these guys that like gets put in crazy situations. His name is Ethan Reckless. You get what I'm saying? Like, we know what we're here for, man. I like these books. Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips they're just the best. Up next, I got Apache Delivery Service. This is written by Matt Kent, drawn by Tyler Jenkins, colored by Hilary Jenkins. These are the guys who did Grass Kings, which for me is like, that's a banger masterpiece, Grass Kings. It means a lot to me. So I was just trying to make my way through all these guys' books. It did make me a little sad that they're not doing like the painting coloring. Like, this is more standard comic book coloring than what the other ones were. But I really enjoyed this book. This book is like a classic action adventure and a movie that me and my guy Nate always talk about. The adventure movie, like the treasure hunter movie, not movie, but like story, is in here. Tyler Jenkins' art has grown on me quite a bit. since Grass Kings. At first, I really didn't get it. I read Black Badge by them and like did not get it at all. Now I'm all in. I think that this book it's like a very quiet book. And so Tyler Jenkins has a lot of work to do to like uphold through this story, and I think he does a spectacular job. We follow this guy. I don't even remember his name. I'm terrible at this. But he's in Vietnam. He's a guy, he goes into the jungles and he he like calls out locations for them to bomb. Right? It's like his job. And he goes out doing this mission and falls into this kind of like greater conspiracy and gets drawn into a treasure hunt in a similar area. Is what I'm going to say without giving too much away. This book reads really fast. This really could be on the 90-minute action movie list, which, as you know, for me is like very high compliment. I love books like that. The vibes are good. The coloring is masterful. Tyler Jenkins, as a comic book artist, is just a guy that I feel like he doesn't do as much these days. I don't know the last time I heard of like a new Tyler Jenkins comic like coming out, but please come back. I love you. I don't know what else to say. This book is sick. Big recommend. I think it's also going to be a 4 out of 5. It's tough saying 4 out of 5 because like for what this book is, I think it hits it dead on the nose. You know what I mean? It's not going to change your life, but it's like very well done, very well made, and just everyone involved is a certified like, you know, they're pros, man. Like Matt Kindt, Tyler J. Like, you got to read this book. I think it's a big recommend if you like action adventure. Yeah, Apache Delivery Service, 4 out of 5. Up next, we got Eris. This is, I believe, written and drawn by Tyrell Cannon. Oh, it looks like his brother Logan Cannon also wrote it. Perhaps this was off the Kickstarter. It just ended not too long ago. It's got pinks. I don't know what you call this, but like the pages, which I think is sick. Beautifully designed book. This is like a sci-fi action epic, is I guess what you'd call it. We follow these guys. I don't even remember what they were called. There's like a group of guys with like these special abilities that are given to them by this like elite, top of the line corporate overlords, I guess is the vibe, who are like giving them these powers, and these guys are just like killing machines in the sci-fi world. And they have to, how do I want to say this? They have to like go down this path to defeat a grand enemy, and it's like the last thing that stands in the way before their overlords have like a complete control over the galaxy. It's like the vibe of it. There's more to it than that. I feel like this book has a little bit of Dune. This book has a little bit of like, I don't know, like 80s sci-fi is like dripping from it, which is like the point. This book didn't really do it for me. I think Tyrell Cannon's art is pretty good. I like his style. It's like, you know, very like kinetic. I feel like it's very clear and readable, which is something I always appreciate in comic book art. The colors are good. It's, for me, it's kind of the meat of the story that doesn't work for me. And I feel like maybe it's supposed to be like the point. Like, this is really supposed to be like an 80s sci-fi movie. From what I understand, that's just like, I don't know. It's just like all muscles and like gore and like laser beams and, you know, all of that. There's not really like enough substance to this book for me. I like needed more. From this, I feel like it ends up following a lot of like really typical tropes and ends up being like generally uninteresting and like unsurprising plot wise, you know? You like get an idea of where we're going, and that's exactly where we're going. You know what I mean? So for me, it really didn't do that well. I think that Tyrell Cannon is like a certified pro, you know what I mean? Like, the stuff is good. He's clearly a good artist. I will definitely still be looking out for like his stuff, but this book did not really do it for me. I'm going to have to give it a 2 out of 5. Up next, we got The New Gods. This is by Ram V and Evan Cagle. Same team that did Dawn Runners, the mech book from Dark Horse, I think. This is obviously a DC book. It's a retelling of The New Gods. You probably know what The New Gods are if you like are watching a comic book video, I'm assuming. I don't care about The New Gods, which is like a hot take, but I don't really read a lot of the old stuff. I like, you know, respect to Jack Kirby and all that, but I just don't be reading it. It's not really me, not really stuff that I'm interested in, but if it has Round V, I'm there. And Evan Cagel's a good artist. And look at this list of other artists that came in on this book. Jorge Fornes, Jesse Lonergan, Ricardo Federici. Like, what are we talking about, dude? All-star list of artists in this series. And so the way that they like set them up is they have like the quote-unquote guest artist comes in and does like a little like prelude to the each issue of it. Look at this cover, bro. He's so good. Evan Cagel's so good. And this story is like capital E epic. We're going into space. We're leading into the crazy like opera that is the New Gods. And he's not shying away from it, dude. Like, we get a lot of New Gods characters that I, like, recognize, although I don't know that well, but I don't feel like I'm missing out from not knowing them well. At first, I'll be honest, it was a little, like, confusing for me to, like, get a handle on what was happening. But, like, the all you need is the vibes, baby. You know what I mean? Like, once you latch onto the vibes, you're good to go. It's beautiful. Rumvee is also got to be a Mount Rushmore writer for me. I'm going to keep saying Mount Rushmore. There's only 4 heads on Mount Rushmore. But I'm just going to keep saying it. He just like, he taps into the strength of this genre. Like, this book does right everything that Eris left me underwhelmed about. Like, there's every time you meet a character, it's like a beautiful setup in like a very unique situation that like illustrates exactly who they are, so you're not left with any questions. The artwork is unbelievable. The like crazy big like acid trip galaxy stuff that happens in the New Gods, like in classic New Gods stuff, is very much delivered here, as well as like the down to earth kind of grounded familial storytelling and soap opera drama. This book really inspired me. I think that this was like an excellent I mean, I didn't think it wouldn't be. I had pretty high expectations for this, and I feel like this book delivered above that. I love this book. I was definitely confused at first, but I also suspect that I was just a little sleepy and like could not latch on. So for me, I'm not going to call this a banger masterpiece because it's not finished. This is the first, trade of it. I'm not going to go crazy over that. However, I am going to say that this is a 5 out of 5. I don't think it gets better. I think this is as good of a start as you could ask for. It has some of the greatest art that's like in comic books right now. I don't think that's hyperbole. I don't think that's exaggerating. You should probably buy the New Gods, dude. It's good. Up next, we got Search and Destroy. This book is much smaller than the other ones. I have just zoomed in. I don't want to deceive you. This is the second book in the series. It's written and drawn by Atsushi Kaneko, based on Dororo by the god of manga, Osamu Tezuka. The series rips. You guys know that I gave the first one. Well, you don't know. In previous video, I have said that this one was a banger masterpiece, and I think that this one carries on in the same way. We follow our main character, whose name I'm forgetting. Jeez, I'm so terrible with that. But we follow her just on her absolute fucking like nasty, brutal killing revenge tour against these robots that have taken her body parts. The nice twist that's really like, not twist, but like the added element in this one is that we're finally seeing them after they retrieve these body parts. It's making them like a less good killing machine and like effectively weaker for the task that they're trying to get done, which I think is a really interesting wrinkle. I assume that's also a part of the Dororo story, but I haven't read that, so this was a surprise to me. What's his name? Kaneko's art is so good. It's very unique, I feel like, for manga. It is so like clear. I love the aesthetic of like this Russian like it's like neo-Russian like city that they're in. I love the characters. It's definitely pretty like edgy on purpose. But it doesn't bother me at all. I love that stuff. Which is you're gonna get more action, you're gonna get more gruesome kills, you're gonna get like a peek into the world where as you meet these villains and they like he gives them these the villains these spotlights where he introduces them to you, and you like get a peek into their world and why they've taken the body part that they have and why it like represents this the sin that they inhabit like in the world. Like they have taken this human's body part just to be like to use it for the most evil possible purpose. Yeah, as like symbolically evil. You know what I mean? Yeah, this book is a masterpiece. It continues to be so. All the characters get more interesting. It builds exactly how you'd want. There's only one more of these that comes out, and then it's done, which was like shocking to me. But I can't wait for it to come out. Search and Destroy. I have season tickets for. I'll be reading all of them. I think you should read all of them as well. This is a 5 out of 5 banger masterpiece. Read Search and Destroy. Up next, I got Tower Dungeon 2 by Tsutomu Nihei. At this point, I've been trying this book. I don't know if it's selling out or what. It's like annoyingly difficult to get my hands on, like online anywhere. So it took me. I actually got this one from Books and Pictures. Went on a little trip up to Oregon and bought it from there, which is very nice. Cool shop. This again is a story about like a castle that lowers down. There's a princess in the castle. There's like 1,000 levels of like terrible monsters stopping them from rescuing the princess, and this is them trying to like map out this like maze like setup in the dungeon. We have our main boy here. Here I gave us some names. Yuva and his team. And that's the gist of it. It's just them trying to get up the tower as time goes on. This book did a really great job of like showing us a little bit of more of a peek at the greater world outside of this. Because so far we're really focused just on the like soldiers that are going up into the tower dungeon. So he's been revealing more things about his world and how it's like a really way more unique take on the fantasy setting than maybe was apparent at the beginning. There's a lot more like interesting monsters outside of this tower dungeon that are like moving around and in positions of power that I thought were very interesting. I like the team dynamic in this book. I think it works well. Yuva, the main character, I'm in, you know? I want to see what happens to him. It still feels a little bit like he might be the least interesting character out of everyone in there. But that kind of like makes him interesting, you know what I mean? Like it's working for him in a weird way, just being like dumb and like kind of, I don't know, like determined, which I can kind of fuck with, you know? It's inspiring. Yeah, his artwork is incredible. It's very simplified. Which I like. I mean that again. I don't want that to come off as like disrespectful. I mean it as a compliment. Everything's very clear. I think that the way he uses these like big the blacks in the story is very, very interesting stuff. He's very good. He like is achieving so much with not as many lines as are used in lots of other manga that I've read. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm in. I'm gonna read more of these books. I feel like this one's gonna go on forever. I'm kind of sad. Like I'm considering to stop reading and then just let these books like stack up, because reading one of these, it flies by. It really doesn't feel like enough. But yeah, Tsutomu Nihei's Tower Dungeon. There's really nothing wrong with it. I want to say a 5 out of 5. I can't call it a banger masterpiece. I should probably put it like a high 4 out of 5. I don't know. It's really good. It's interesting. I want more. Up next, I got Batman Gotham by Gaslight. This is multiple stories. Some of them are written by Brian Augustine, Mike Mignola, P. Craig Russell's in here, Eduardo Barreto. This book, I'm really here mostly to talk about the Mignola story. The rest of it I really didn't care for. That's not true. I like the Mignola one, and I like the Master of the Future story. I thought those were fun. But the rest are like a bunch of tie-ins to a bunch of events I like don't give a shit about, respectfully. But these two stories, this is the setup is it's like not steampunk Batman, but like Victorian era Batman, and that's really it. The first story was a Mike Mignola story that I don't think he wrote. I think he's just drawing it. I don't know. Let's check. I should check. Brian Augustine is writing it. Mignola pencils it, and P. Craig Russell inks it. The art is beautiful. It is about Jack the Ripper comes to Gotham. Batman has to defeat him. And it's just like, it reeks of Mike Mignola. Like, all the things he loves. So that's why I was like kind of surprised about him not writing it. It feels like something that's in his wheelhouse. It definitely reads different than like a Hellboy or his universe stuff. The Mignola-verse stuff. But, it's just so in his wheelhouse. It's a good little mystery. I love that, like, Batman of this era is like all I needed to hear, so I was pretty bought in. I liked it. The other story, the Master of the Future one, uh, is definitely not as good, but kind of just like a fun, like, kind of classic comic story. I feel like, I don't know. Like, this is the stuff that I used to be able to get my hands on, just like, at people's houses, or like left at Barnes and Noble somewhere. It gave me. It's just a fun Batman story, man. Against this villain who is like bringing. He's got like a fucking Archimedes death ray that he's firing from a blimp. It's super fun. Yeah, nothing to change your life, but it's super fun. I think those stories are worth the price of admission. I think the rest of this is actually just a bunch of nonsense that I like. I wasn't even interested in jumping into. It's just one of these things. I hate when like the big two companies do this where they have like a cool story and they use this universe just as a reference point in another story where everyone's going through all the different timelines or universes or whatever. So I was like, I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that. Give me things set in these universe and let that be it, bro. Like, just let it be. Yeah, I think these stories were fun. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 for those two stories. Yeah, worth the price of admission. It's fun. Up next, I got Birds of Prey, Volume 1, Megadeth, sick title, by Kelly Thompson and Leonardo Romero, colored by Jordi Belair. There's also a guest artist in here that draws, like, the 4th issue, I think. I want to give them their reps, but I don't know. Devin. Aris Devin. I thought that's an artist. Aris Devin is the guest artist. It's also pretty good. I was drawn to this book because I think Kelly Thompson is one of the best writers working today. Not Mount Rushmore, but very good. Leonardo Romero, his art is sick. They did Hawkeye together a long time ago. And, I don't really know much about Birds of Prey. I heard there was a lot of hype about this book, so I was like, shit, I better get in on this, dude. And I'm glad I did. It's like good fun. The artwork is really the calling card here. I think the story is like cool. It's definitely like kind of basic Big Two stuff, But the gist is the Birds of Prey are, who is it? Black Canary. I like don't know the characters. There's so many characters now that I like don't recognize. But Big Bart is in there. This chick's in there. Harley Quinn's in there. Who else is it? Who else is in this team? I don't know this person's name, dude. I don't know who that is. But they make a team because they need to rescue this girl from Themyscira with a Wonder Woman Amazon island. They have to rescue her and like heist her out of there for reasons that I'm not going to say. But I mean, the real joy of it is Kelly Thompson's sense of humor and Leonardo Romero's art. The overall, like, I don't know, like the plot, I just don't care, bro. I can't do like the superhero plots the same way, but I do still think this was a good time. I think as far as Big Two stuff goes, this is like some of the better stuff I've read all year. New Gods. It's not like on the level of New Gods, but for what it is, it's pretty good. So I mean, if that interests you, I feel like that wasn't a great sell, but it's just how I feel. I'm just kind of tired of this stuff. I gotta stop buying it. It's my own fault. I'm spending my money on these books. Birds of Prey, I'll give it 3 out of 5. It's a fun time. It's a good time, and it's okay to not be more than that. I think that's fine. Up next, I got Living Hell, written and drawn by Caitlin Yarsky, lettered by Clayton Cowles. This book is sick. It's a very interesting idea. As far as I know, this is the first time Caitlin Yarsky has written and drawn for herself. It's also like, I know it's through Dark Horse, but it feels very like creator owned, you know what I mean? Like it's a very interesting idea that clearly all comes from her and is like stuff that she's passionate about. We got my boy Jerome Jamil. He is a father, he is a bartender. He is also a demon from hell. And in this world, there are, like, hell, one is a terrible place. We're kind of combining all the terrible monsters and demons from, like, different religions. And a few of them escape from hell and try to live normal lives in the world. And we kind of have, like, there's like a conflict because people are searching for these demons and trying to bring them back. So we're following Jerome as he like tries to just live a normal life. That's like the pitch to get you in. Obviously, a lot more happens in this story. There's a lot of like family drama. There's a lot of like sicko monster fights. There's a lot of cool like, I don't know, like demons trying to make their way through like small businesses in the city, which I really enjoyed. Like just trying to live normal lives. Really the heart of this book is the family drama, as Jerome's wife is kind of like she's kind of crazy, like kind of actually crazy, not like fun haha crazy. Like, ooh, she's like unraveling, girl. You gotta figure that out. And Jerome it's a lot of him trying to like make it work, but like his situation makes it one so that he's never really like relaxed or feeling safe. He has problems with his daughter. He has, you know, his relationship with his wife is fraught, to say the least. The real strength of this, I think, is how it goes in kind of very like in a Mignola-esque way. Uses folklore and these different like demons and monsters in like interesting ways as not exactly antagonists, but kind of just like obstacles for Jerome as he moves through his life. Very interesting book. I think it's full. I don't know if she'll do another one. I don't know if this is numbered. But like there's definitely room for Caitlin Rusty to continue it. But I like finished this book, I put it down, and I like thought about it extensively afterwards. I think it's like very like fertile soil of an idea. I thought things that she had to say were interesting, and I think this book doesn't feel like a lot of other books. It's a very unique take, and that is exactly what I want to have in my comic collection. I would give this book a 4 out of 5. It's again one of those where I think that Caitlin Yarsky did exactly what she set out to accomplish. But it left me feeling kind of icky, which is the point. But if you want a 5 out of 5 for me, I don't know how icky I should feel after. That's terrible. But I mean, the book's really, really good. I like me saying I feel like I'm defending 4 out of 5 like it's a bad score. It's not. I really enjoyed this book. I think it's quite good. I think you should check it out. Up next, we have Pine and Merrimack. This is written by Kyle Starks, drawn by Fran Galan. I assume is how you say it. I actually don't know. I'm trying my best, Fran. Letter by Pat Brousseau. This book, well, first of all, it's a Kyle Starks book. I kind of have I have the same relationship to Kyle Starks books as I do to like Black Hammer, where like I keep collecting them, and I definitely don't like not like them. I think I like them, but I'm not like all the way bought in. But then I turn around and it's like, wow, I have all these books. Maybe I like it more than I realized. This book is one of my favorites from him. I think I Hate This Place will be my favorite from him, but this one was quite good. It follows these two like private eyes. Linnea is her name, and Parker is the man. They live in this small town, and they have like an investigation that leads them into some culty shenanigans where they have to like rescue this young girl from some kind of religious cult. There's more to it than that, obviously, but it's very interesting. She's really the like detective, and her husband is literally just muscle. He's supposed to be like ex-UFC, and he just beats ass and is kind of just in love with his wife all the time, which feels like a Kyle Starks like trope. Trope is the wrong word, but he loves like these tough characters who are just like in love, which is very sweet. I think Frankenland's art is sick. I have never heard of her before. I have no idea of any other books that Frankenland has done, but the artwork in this book is unreal. It is unreasonably good. Kyle Stark's humor shows through a line here. Frankenland's acting is very, very well done. So this kind of feels like, I don't know, I'm a sucker for like things that feel like procedural cop like stories, and this isn't that. It kind of dips its toe into it and then has fun with the supernatural. I believe this was one that like, I don't know, it doesn't have a 1 on the spine of it, but like many Kyle Starks books, it feels like there's kind of like a left off, like there could be more after this, but I guess it's not getting continued type of thing going on with it. But it's really, really good. I like this book quite a bit. I think that the twists and turns were unpredictable. I think that the characters were like really like you want to stick around with these two, and even though I feel like it can get a little corny with like them just be like, oh my god, I love you so much every time they go somewhere, it's sweet, I don't know, it's wholesome. I'm a big fan of it. The coloring is crazy. The villains are like, I don't know, there's like good good conflict where it feels like there's actual danger and stakes, but at the same time there's like humor and levity within the same story, which I think is harder to like easier said than done, you know? Because a lot of people struggle with that. Kyle Starks does not struggle with that, and I really enjoyed reading this book. For me, it's going to be a 4 out of 5. I think if you just like, you know, a PI story that dips into the supernatural, then you should read this book. Up next, we have Athanasia by, I want to say Daniel Kraus. Yeah, Daniel Kraus, drawn by Danny, colored by Brad Simpson, lettered by Jim Campbell. Okay? This book is from Vault Comics. I don't have that many Vault comics, so when I saw this, I was excited to add some to the collection. The standout here is the art by Danny. She is now doing The Invisible Man by James Tynion IV. I know she has done other work. I am not super familiar. But after this, I might have season tickets, bro, because her artwork is incredible. Look at how interesting this is for a black and white book. Have you ever seen detail drawn in this way, or like line work like this in a story? It's incredible artwork. I should probably talk about the story. This book follows like a young girl. I forget her name, but she works at a graveyard for superheroes. Okay, this is like a family-owned graveyard. She has Forrest is her name. There we go, Forrest. She works at this graveyard. Her dad tended the graveyard before that. Her dad's dad tended the graveyard before that. It's a family business. It's kind of owned, and all the superheroes are kind of owned by this like huge corporation, who like doesn't treat them super well, but like it keeps them with the job. And she's kind of going through the struggle of like, I don't really want to work on this graveyard my whole life. You know, classic teenager stuff. She goes to high school. There's problems with boys. There's like classic stuff. And I'll be honest, bro, this book is a real downer. Like, ultimately, this is a story about like addiction and about like I don't know, like the damage it does to the friends and family of those who are addicted, and like why people get it. Like, it's playing in that realm, which really, I don't know, dude. I read this all in one go on a long road trip, and I felt icky at the end, which is the point, I think. But it's like a very sad story, and it doesn't resolve in like a way where like everybody drives off to the sunset. It is. I think it ends up, I don't know. I don't want to say too much. But it's pretty grimy and in the weeds and sad. And it's definitely an addiction story. And it's not trying to make it sound fun. You know? Like, this isn't really a fun book about anything. But I think the artwork is, like, spectacularly done. And I don't know about the writer, Daniel Kraus. I don't know, like, what else he's done. I think, like, the characters all feel, like, very real. And they bounce off of each other very well. And it all feels very, like, grounded. But this is just not subject matter that I really love to dwell in. Like, this is not what I come to read books for. But Danny, the artist, definitely made it worthwhile. I don't know. I'm going to say stuff about this book. It's not for me. But that doesn't mean it's not quality. It feels like a very high quality book. The subject matter just didn't agree with me. So for that, I'm going to have to give it a 3 out of 5. But I recommend other people go try Athanasia. It's, you know, it's a very well-made book. It's high-quality stuff, unquestionably. Up next, we got Black Canary, Best of the Best, written by Tom King, drawn by Ryan Sook, colored by Dave Stewart, lettered by someone else very good, I assume. Clayton Cowles. There you go. This story follows Black Canary. It's the second Black Canary book. Whoa, crazy, huh? What a time to be alive. Black Canary has challenged Lady Shiva to a fight. And we kind of cut between the actual fight between the two of them, as it is like internationally broadcast on television, while also getting context for why she took the fight and what's happening to Black Canary in Black Canary's life around the fight, is the best way I can put it. Tom King, Mount Rushmore writer, baby. Love that guy. So I get every Tom King book just off rip. Especially when it's like a miniseries. Like a Tom King miniseries is as good as it gets in my eyes. Ryan Sook's art is spectacular. It's definitely like a more classic comic book style, which, you know, compared to the last Tom King books with like Bill Quizevely, and he's got like oh my gosh, the guy who does Human Target, Greg Smallwood. It's kind of like I feel like I haven't seen Tom King write for a style like this in a little bit, and it works, dude. I think that Tom King's storytelling is simply top notch. It's a very heartfelt story of Black Canary kind of like reconnecting with her family and like the relationship between her and her mom. And it's beautiful. There were times in this book where these like announcers talking to each other over it was kind of getting old for me, I feel like, but I don't know if I'm just being a hater, you know? Because like all the stuff with Black Canary like in her life is actually gold. Actually as good as it gets. I loved it. It made me feel feelings. It was beautifully told. The coloring is expertly done. Ryan Sook, I don't think anyone was like, unsure if Ryan Sook was, was like that guy, but he's very, very, very good. It's beautiful acting. I loved, loved, loved this book. I kind of don't want to say too much more. You should get this book. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even like superhero stuff like that. This book is really good, man. I want to say 5 out of 5. I hesitate. It's definitely not a banger masterpiece, but it's up there, dude. This book is really good. I thought it was great. Probably somewhere between, like, high 4 out of 5. Let's get it. Like a 4.9 out of 5. Just sort of splitting hairs here, I guess. But Black Canary, best of the best. Very good. Big recommend. Okay, we are approaching the end of the big stack here. Here we have Men of Wrath by Jason Aaron, drawn by Ron Garney, drawer of Berserker. Jason Aaron, writer of a million things, but most known probably for Thor, I feel like. But lots of stuff. Jason Aaron is a writer I enjoy. Not everything that he does, but I didn't like Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. That's really what I'm trying to dance around here. But that's okay. It happens. This is kind of like a gritty crime story following the Wrath. What's his name? Mr. Wrath. As he's like a hitman who works for bad people, and he has to go and do something terrible. They eventually have him take out a hit on on someone important to him, let's say. And that's kind of what the story follows. I think that this story for me was a little like needlessly edgy, He does within the first couple pages like throw a baby into a lake, and I was like, okay, what are we doing here? But I mean, it's solid. It's good. This guy is scary. It's definitely like gritty southern crime, which I know Jason Aaron loves to do. I think Ron Garney's art is really good. This story I kind of like read all the way through in one sitting, and I was like, yeah, sure, didn't change my life. Jason Aaron's writing, I think, is good, but the story is kind of needlessly edgy. Like, I don't love it in stories when we're just like, oh, this guy's cool and makes no mistakes. And I don't think that's what Jason Aaron is like saying about this guy, but he's just a little bit like too bulletproof for me, and is like the only guy who can make things happen in this world. Like, we meet all these other characters, and everyone else is just helpless all the time except for him, and I don't love that. That's just not something I like. I don't know. So it's only really one gripe, but I think it's a big gripe that really messed with me the whole time. Other than that, I think it's well written. I like the setting, the characters, a little bit needlessly edgy, even for me. I can deal with a little bit of edge, but this one's kind of a lot. But I mean, it's fun, and it's like a high quality book. Like, the colors are good, the drawing is really good. If you like a crime story, I'd still say give it a shot, but I'm gonna give Men of Wrath like a 3 out of 5. It's not going to change your life. I don't think it's like that interesting or has that many ideas, but it was fine. It was fun. I liked it, Next up, we have If You Find This, I'm Already Dead, written by Matt Kindt, drawn by Dan McDade, colored by Bill Crabtree. Look at this book, man. That's a cool design. It's like a little bit bigger and like more square than your normal hardcover. Just a little bit. It's from Flux House, which is Matt Kindt's imprint. I've been trying to make my way through all the Matt Kindt books. This kind of dances in an area of Matt Kindt books that I don't love, where I just don't feel like I get it, dude. Like, it feels like the message is going over my head. Dan McDade's art was a revelation. I would love to read more books by him. I don't know what else he's done before this, but clearly he's done something because he's sick. We follow this girl who is like a reporter. She's with the press. She's being brought along on this special mission for some reason. There's another dimension or planet. I think it's a dimension that Earth has gotten access to that leads to this alien world that we are trying to occupy or investigate. And while she's on her way over there, her ship is shot down and she is like dropped into this alien world and has to survive is essentially it. And like the art, I really like the art. I really like the colors. Bill Crabtree, underrated, maybe my favorite colorist, to be honest. But it's quite good. The story like moves really fast, but then by the end I was like, what happened? Like what am I supposed to be left with here? I like don't get like the point of it, I guess, but that doesn't mean that like the trip along the way wasn't good. It's just very odd, and I feel like I didn't totally understand. But like obviously these guys are like it's like a high quality book. Like these guys are like it's a high quality writer, it's a high quality artist. Like the shit is good. It's well made. It really feels like it's kind of referencing like an old school look in a lot of this like the textures and the way it's colored and how the paper is kind of like this off white. I just love this book. I love the design of this book. I love the way it's put together. The story, I didn't totally get. I still think it's pretty good. Dan McDade is a guy I'm interested in. Matt Kint is one of my guys, as you guys know. I do think this book is a 3 out of 10. There's like big ideas, like bigger sci-fi ideas happening in here, but I just didn't totally get it. So I think 3 out of 10. So 3 out of 5. So I think no shots, bro. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. Last but not least, I have Adventure Man Volume 2 and Volume 3. I'm going to just look through Volume 2. You guys should know that Volume 3 is much thinner. Actually, my real problem with Volume 3 is it doesn't even feel like the whole arc of a story. Found that quite frustrating. The new one is coming out. I will still give it a look. Ooh, I might have to zoom out here. Hold up. There you go. Written by Matt Fraction, drawn by Terry Dodson, colored by Mrs. Dodson. I forget her name. So sorry, no disrespect. Rachel Dodson. Oh, just kidding. Rachel Dodson is the inker. Terry's the colorist? Oh, I see. Okay, well, yeah. This is the continuation of the story. I have talked about the first book on here. It's very fun. I think the Dodson's art is incredible and really the calling card of this book, especially at this big, oversized hardcover size. The second book I liked. We kind of get introduced to this new character, the Phantom Rider, who has to work in conjunction with our new adventure man, Claire, adventure woman, as they fight the forces of evil. And it's like it is shocking to me how little plot is like progressed through in each of these books. Like I get that we're here for a fun time and a good time and that the point is just these cool pictures. Like a lot of the point is that like this classic kind of pulpy adventure, but like damn brother, we could like get it move a little bit faster. Surely. I really like the main character Claire. I care about her quite a bit. There's some really cute stuff with like her family and her son and her 19 sisters. All that stuff is a good time. It feels like we just get a little lost in the weeds and like this storybook come to life stuff, which is a trope I don't love, and I knew that's what Adventure Man was about going in. So like I'm probably biased here the wrong way. But it's still fun. It's still a very fun time. It's still good. It just wasn't my favorite. Volume 2, I'd probably give it 4 out of 5. Volume 3, I don't know, like a low 3, dude. I did not enjoy that one as much. Just because it ends so suddenly. And it's just like, I just want more story, bro. Like, just give me the full story, man. About these big-ass books. There's just not that much story in them. I am happy to have these in my collection, though. I'm very glad that I do. I think it's good fun. It's very much the energy of, like, quote-unquote, like, what comics are supposed to be, I think, where it's just, like, a good time adventure and, like, fun action and family and everyone smiling. Nobody's ever, like, really in danger. We're having a good time. And that is accomplished. I like these books the way they're put together. There's cool back matter stuff in the back. But Adventure Man, overall, is probably going to land somewhere in the 3 out of 5 range. I'm definitely buying the next one. It is in my cart right now. And with that, the video is over. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you got any books that you are reading that you think I should read, please leave it in a comment below. Thank you all very much again. And I will see you in the next one.
Yo, before you go, I wanted to show you the comics that I make. This is The Gifts of the Zadik, It follows our main character, Ram, who has just been crowned the Zadik, also known as the Chosen One, in his small village, and given unreal powers. But as soon as he gets these powers, he is disillusioned by the role that his people wish him to play, and so he wants to go out and find how to become a hero out in the world. It'll sweeten the pot. He also finds that there's another chosen one out there somewhere in the world that maybe can give him answers and help him find his true purpose. If you are interested in buying this book, you can get them at lior.com. It's a great way to support me, the artist, and the guy who runs this channel. Thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all later.